Your Majesty at your service. Welcome to Fairyqueen Talks. Thank you for tuning in to the last episode of this podcast series, Turning a New Leaf. Hi there, and I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for listening to this podcast series for the last year and a half. So I just finished my morning workout, and I just had this thought in my head that said, Fairyqueen Talks is finished. Do the last episode. So here I am, finishing everything up. So, sadly, but also amazingly, we have come to the end of Fairyqueen Talks. This series was inspired by the UK's lockdown restrictions, and as that is coming to the end, I've realised that my duty as a fairy queen on this platform has come to an end. This is not a farewell, but simply turning a new leaf. Fairyqueen Talks, the podcast, is about helping ourselves to be aware, conscious, motivated to achieve our goals. I have spoken for the last year and a half about my journey, and I ended up having to take a break to deal with my mental health. As a woman who has entered her womanhood, motherhood, parenthood, wifehood, career, and creativity, there are so many hats that I wear. The break before this episode was needed for me to re-evaluate my priorities. At this time of my life, I need to just enjoy and raise my daughters, my lionesses. I need to be on the path of what truly gives me happiness. As much as I share with you and have shared with you on this podcast, I need to use this energy in a direction that matches my path in life. I have absolutely loved speaking to you on a weekly basis. I may not have met you personally. However, if you do have a favorite episode or something I said was of a good impact on you, please feel free to message me on my Instagram page at Fairyqueen Tatiana. I hope that, like me, you will find your way back to your true self. I said earlier, this is not the end. Deep down, I'll always be Fairyqueen Tatiana. However, the roles outside of my digital presence need me. I need to find a healthy balance between my public, digital, and private life, and be true to myself and handle my responsibilities. I have many projects that will happen one day, but in the meantime, just enjoy listening to the content I have created on this podcast and other platforms and transform your life. I can see and feel I'm becoming the woman I always wanted to be before turning 30. I embrace my femininity and strength. I embrace my insecurities and fears. I embrace me and who I am. I know who I was, who I am becoming, and who I need to be right now. I hope that my example of trying to achieve everything at once is a lesson for us all. There is a season for everything. What is yours forever. If something is for you, it will be, and it is yours for the taking. Whether it be success, family, or good health, it's yours for the taking. Remember that we need to focus on today, and tomorrow is looked after. Enjoy your days and follow your gut feelings always, just like I did this morning. Like I said, this is not a goodbye, but I will close the chapter on this podcast. These lockdown series have come to a close, and anytime you feel locked down by life, opposed to restrictions or any circumstances, you can always listen back to my 3 seasons of this podcast. I hope that you will share and support this podcast with those who are ready to hear the messages. I am planning to create so much more, but I need the time to do so. As amazing citizens of the Queendom, you have helped me gain clarity on so many things. And I thank you for tuning in to this podcast. Wherever you live in the world, because you are all very diverse, different countries, what I want to leave with you is a lot of peace and a lot of light. I'm getting quite emotional now because even though I speak to you by myself, I feel like I know you. You are a person who's trying to figure things out, just like I am. And you just need a fairy queen sometimes. I'm not disappearing. I will be back. But this time is for me to have a break and to find how I will tap into my greatness. So, stick to the end because I always have a message. Until then, until we meet again. At the end of each episode, I address the Queendom. As this is the last episode of the podcast, share this series with those who need it and look out on my Instagram for updates for new projects. A citizen of the Queendom is anyone who follows their guts and leads in love. Your Majesty at your service, always. Thank you so much for listening and supporting this Fairy Queen Talks. Until we meet again, bye.